miss me, but
Yeah.
the way you are going.
Yeah, so I just, you just miss that kind of thing. But it's part of the work.
Just for your information, I don't miss you after the show.
I know. Because there's no way I call that you pick straight away. So I know that.
So the president finally addressed the issue of the U.S. government's cooperation agreement, the defense deal, if you like. And one man who had been on his case, calling for him to talk, is Okujeto Ablakwa. So,
maybe we
talk to him. We want to talk to him after the president spoke. But the president spoke on quite a number of issues. Some say he was a bit political. Some say he didn't take our concerns lightly. But did he hit on the reason why we need this deal? Send me a message. Let's know. If you listen to the president's speech, let me know what you think about his comment. Does he finally put to bed this whole issue about Ghana-US military agreements? Are we satisfied per the response that he gave? He's a president, by the way. He determines what we need as head of government. So if he says the deal is good, who are we to say anything else? Let me know what you think via regular SMS or WhatsApp messages. But let's see how the newspapers are reporting it today. We'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper on the front page. No U.S. military base in Ghana, president declares. Be sure you can find angles of this in all the newspapers today. Driver arrested over murder of aeronautic engineer. That story on page 20. The late Prince Kwabena Kumi is on the front page of the paper. Government has paid 40 million Ghana cedis of Nagrat arrears. That story also in the papers. Let's start off. Let's go to page 20. So the Achimota police have arrested a 30-year-old commercial driver, Samson Enim, in connection with the murder of the 34-year-old Accra-based aeronautic engineer, Prince Kwabena Kumi, a.k.a. Kobi, believed to be for ritual purposes. Now, briefing the Daily Graphic in Achimota yesterday, Superintendent Samuel Ntoso, the Oda Municipal Police Commander, said the late Kumi arrived at Achim Akroso from Accra around 8:30 p.m. on his way to his hometown, Achim Esubua, from Accra to spend the Easter festivities with his parents. Background of that is actually captured here in the paper, so I'll leave the details for you to read about it as it's being narrated by the police, in the Oda Municipal area. But the point is that there are a lot of dots in between that does not simply add on, and so you can read about it and make up your mind. And I hope that the autopsy report will also be ready. The Kumi's body, riddled with bullet wounds, has been sent to the police hospital in Accra for autopsy to find out the actual cause of death. That's where we are with this. But you can read the stories in between in the paper. You were going to say something?
I just wanted to say that the young man's death was bizarre.
Very bizarre.
And the narrations just went adding up.
Yeah.
Everything in the car was intact.
Yeah.
And his body was lying somewhere.
So the police arrested him with...
And I tried to put myself, well, if I choose to drink, would I drink in such stupor that if I'm so immobile and the police...
But you were able to drive from Accra all the way to Asamoah?
We're fine. Maybe I was not drunk from Accra.
So
maybe when I got to Nsawam or somewhere close by, I got drunk. But by the time the police got me, if I'm so drunk, in stupor and immobile, what would a normal human being, whether police or not, what would the reaction be? Would they keep me still and not let me wander
they would arrest
and keep my car?
They would arrest your vehicle. They would keep your vehicle.
Yes, I know, but would they in
and
that
let
state?
You go?
Okay, no.
Because that's what happened in
yes,
this
I
case.
know, and I am thinking now.
Something doesn't add up.
Yeah, and because you see the car, the type of car the gentleman is driving, so you know that, well, he's not a poor guy, or he's somebody who perhaps is somebody who does something somewhere. So I don't know. There's something that just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It's just so sad.
So we'll wait for more details to come up. Maybe it will begin to make sense when it all gets together. The Minister of Information, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, says the government has paid more than 40 million Ghana cedis of the arrears it owes members of the National Association of Graduate Teachers. The government currently owes NAGRAD members more than 50 million Ghana cedis in salary arrears, vehicle maintenance allowance. I think I read all these details yesterday. So still the same thing that they owe NAGRADs. And we know that, so last Wednesday, April 4, 2014, NAGRAD called on an indefinite strike following what it described as broken promises by the government to pay the arrears in excess of 50 million Ghana cedis, which dated back to 2013. Today is 6th, right? So they said what they have paid would reflect today. We wait to see. But NAGRAD still insists you haven't paid all. They are asking for all the arrears. Center spread, work to stop dumping on our market. President Akufo-Addo charges GITC board, and that's the Ghana International Trade Commission board. Details of that. Change your recipient mentality, Professor Yanka urges public universities. And then on the back page of the paper, KMA desilt drains to prevent flooding. So the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has started desilting streams and drains in the metropolis to enhance the free flow of water and effluent to prevent flooding, the paper reports. So heavy rains in the metropolis have often led to the flooding of areas including Abuabo, TUC, South Trestle, Parks and Gardens, Kwadaso, and Denyame, all suburbs of Kumasi. But we still know that there was a directive for people not to sell in certain places, but they are not going according to the directive. And we saw how people who are supposed to be enforcing those directives looked on helpless while hawkers were selling in places that they were not supposed to. So hopefully this goes well and we're able to maintain those gutters, at least those that have been, that they've taken, you know, the stuff that we stash in those gutters out. Also, commuters shun Sekondi Takoradi train shuttle. Why? Story about our friend Doche Kobla Aklobato in Takoradi. Good morning to you. It says more than a year after the inauguration of the train shuttle service between Sekondi and Takoradi, the Ghana Railway Company is yet to break even due to low patronage of the service by commuters. To understand why, please read the entire stories on the back page of the paper. So Daily Graphic visited the Takoradi Harbour, Kojokrom and Sekondi terminals of the shuttle service after monitoring after the morning shuttle, and it made several observations. Those details on the back page of the graphic this morning. Roland?
All right, so we do the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, we have Controller and Accountant General's Department cracks the whip. Workers locked out. We know that this is following the MMT board chairman's decision to, well, not lock out this time, but also let the workers who were late to work on a day within the week to write their names down, and subsequently told them to go home. And they've been locked out for reporting late to work, late comers to be sanctioned, etc. And the story is on page 6. It's quite interesting. It says that scores of workers of the Controller and Accountant General's Department, they yesterday were denied entry into the premises for reporting late to work. The workers, numbering about, again, 50, comprising staff and national service personnel, allegedly reported after 8 a.m., which is the stipulated time for civil servants to be at work. Around 9 a.m., when the Ghanaian Times got to the premises, the stranded workers were seen loitering around, with others pleading to be allowed entry. A number of them were also seen chatting in groups, obviously discussing the issue at hand. It continues that though the workers refused to speak with the Ghanaian Times at the time of the visit, information picked up indicated that management had taken the decision to keep the attitude of lateness among workers. And we know that there's a way to go. Way to go, way to go. We have other stories also on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. So we have police gunned down 5 armed robbers. And this incident is quite interesting. 5 suspected armed robbers were gunned down during a crossfire with the police at Accra at the end of the Tema toll booth yesterday dawn. 10 other accomplices who also were told, some of them were shot before escape. According to the police, sustained gunshot wounds, were on the run and were being sought by the police. Subsequently, the police sent an SOS message out that any health facility or hospital that will be treating or is likely to see patients that have gunshot wounds or any other wounds related to the incident is saying this at a validation workshop. NGO built ships compound at Didido. Okay, so that's where we end. Taking a look at the stories in the Ghanaian Times. You have a Can I do the daily guide?
Yeah.
So let me do the daily guide. No U.S. military base. Nana tells it blow by blow. 5 motorway robbers gunned down. Unity Air takes off. And then we have fresh NDC U.S. military deal pops up. Okay, so let's go to the center spread. Stoneboy hawks in Accra, and dancehall artist Stoneboy got everyone talking on Wednesday after photos and videos of him hawking in the street in Accra surfaced on social media. The hero hit maker was dressed in a pair of red shorts, a black sleeveless shirt. Charlie, if all the hawkers would dress like this is dope dressing, man. Charlie and sell. It was captured selling baseball caps, chewing gums and toffees in traffic. The videos and photos of his activity led to speculations on Wednesday that he did that to inspire the unemployed youth. That's a good one. And that's him. Stoneboy. Can we have him has son above the video? Stoneboy.
So that was all for a video.
Yeah.
For like a.
It was shared on social media.
For a music video. This is for a music video?
No.
This is for what?
Just for his fans to encourage, the guys on the streets that he's for them and all that. Yeah.
Okay. So which street is this? Did they say a call? Did they say?
No. Maybe the railway. I don't know. And yesterday we were just hawking within toast. Today is pique.
You are mean, eh? Oh, you are so
Today
mean.
is pique.
So the guy said, has somebody said they can't pull their shorts, like they can't wear the shorts properly?
This is Autofista. Since 19, when we went to Italia 91.
Pull the shorts up,
Udati Lamte's group, I remember they had Isaac Kasari and Ajimandria and the rest. Beno as skipper, or is it Jojo or Beno? One of them. One of those names. Pique.
So he took this from a hawker and he was selling. But if he does this every day, then the people will really make a lot of money. Because I would want to buy from Stoneboy. In fact, I want to buy everything that he's selling.
I'm a hero.
I'm sure this should be a shaman. He couldn't sell anywhere else.
No,
it should be a shaman.
This street is too neat for a shaman.
Oh, how?
It's true. A shaman street is
This should be like
this in Accra. I'm told this in Accra.
All right, you're done?
Yeah, I'm done. No, we have other stories there. Okay, I think I'm done for... Yeah, I'm done. Okay, Jay-Z, the last one that we have. It said Jay-Z cries after his mother disclosed she's gay. This is a good one.
Jay-Z's mother is gay.
Yeah. It says, Jay-Z says he cried with relief when his mom told him that she's gay. She's always been gay. She said, I always knew my mother was gay. I knew, but this was the first time we had the conversation. I always knew.
Oh.
Hey, we has him.
Anyway, let's do the final newspaper, and I'm absolutely heartbroken. The final carries the autopsy report. They have a story on that. We were talking about Kwabena a while ago, Prince Kwabena Kumi, the man who was found dead somewhere between Akroso and Isubua, depending on who you speak to, really. And the finder has laid hands on that autopsy carried out at the police hospital. So here they go with the headline, Who Killed Kwabena? Autopsy report reveals he was shot in the jaw and chests. And it gives like a very detailed accounts. The reports of an autopsy conducted at the police hospital on the body of Prince Kwabena Kumi has revealed that he died of hemorrhagic shock as a result of severe jaw and chests inquiries caused by gunshots. The outcome of the autopsy, which was conducted yesterday, confirms initial findings of examination conducted by the police at the scene where the body was found, which reveals that he was shot in the jaw and chest. And the reports observed that he was shot at intermediate range, but as to who shot him and why is yet to be unraveled by the police. And then according to this story in the Finder, we read a bit of it in the graphic, but what's on the Finder says that the driver of the taxi that the police claim they put him in to get him home, that driver was released on bail yesterday as well. So we still don't know. What we do know really is the fact is what the Finder is reporting, that according to the autopsy report, there was a gunshot in the jaw and in the chest that resulted in his death. Police say he was so drunk, they feared that he could be of a harm to himself and other motorists, whatever that means. So even though he had driven from Accra, he had gotten to Akroso. His home, his mother's home, is Esubia, which is just about 5 minutes drive, by the way. It's less than 10 minutes. But they decided to impound his vehicle. And the family, according to the family accounts, because they spoke to other people who were observing what was going on, the police prevented him from joining 3 earlier vehicles. So they finally got him into a taxi at around 10 p.m. And between the taxi and his home is what we don't know what happened. What we would find out later is that he had been killed. He was dead. He was found dead. And this was a man who was visiting, who was surprising his mother on Good Friday. It's part of the Easter festivities. Surprising his mother, only to find that he had been killed. Still not clear in our minds. We hope that the police will be more responsive and they would come out with a lot more information. It's not adding on, really. It's absolutely.
Yeah. I'm just using a phrase from Mama V. It's just not on.
It's not on. 34-year-old.
It's just not on.
And
something just not right about all
can't imagine what the mother is going through.
Yeah.
You know, probably be blaming herself that
bizarre
she's the reason he's dead, something like that, because she was the person that he was visiting, surprising her, by the way. And he until his death was the worker at Africa World Airlines. That's where he practiced. Don't prevent fee owing student from writing WASI, a directive by the GES. Police gunned down 5 suspected robbers on Tema motorway. According to the police, pupil pulls pistol and dagger on head teacher. Huh? That story, a bit of it on page 6. It says the Koforidua police are looking for Master Philip Asari, a pupil of Ellen White SDA school at Soridai, and his friend who pulled a dagger and a pistol on their head teacher and a female teacher of the school. Speaking to the Ghana News Agency in an interview, Mr. Boache Champong, the head teacher of the school, said Philip and the friend who narrowly escaped from the school before the arrival of the police had since not been found and had also abandoned their homes. He said Philip was writing the mock examination with his other junior high school colleagues when his mobile phone rang. The headmaster said the female teacher who was supervising the examination collected the phone and gave it to Mr. Boache Champon, the head teacher of the school. Philip, who is known in school to be a quiet boy, later stopped writing his papers, came out and stood in front of the examination hall, shouting on top of his voice that he had stopped the school and so his mobile phone should be handed over to him. Mr. Champon said he came out of his office and tried to calm him to stop the noise and go and complete his examination, but he would not listen and left the school compound. After some few minutes, he returned to the school with a friend holding a pistol and went and pulled a dagger on the head teacher to give his mobile phone to him. For the rest of the account, please grab the Finder newspaper. Unbelievable. This is a high school pupil. All right, this is where we have to end it. Let's quickly run through online because we have to bring you sports. And then we're engaging Okujetua Blakwa. So that should be between 7 and 7:30. We're going to, so we have to do this real quick. A number of things happening on the international front. If you are an Indian movie follower, then you would know that one of the superstars, Salman Khan, who's a Bollywood superstar, has been jailed for poaching. This is something that he did whilst shooting a film.
20 years ago.
1998, and here we are. 1998, 2018, is it 20 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. He's gotten a 5 years jail term.
Are you supposed to be getting a bail hearing in the next
but he said he has to spend a couple of days in prison. Yeah. He can appeal this sentence. But that's it. And they say because he's rich, because he's a superstar, it took 20 years for them to arrive at this decision. And the conversation is kind of divided. Some people say, yeah, he deserves it for the crime that he committed.
Oh, I like it.
Two other things. We know that Jacob Zuma, remember, he's also got 16 corruption charges on his head. That trial begins in South Africa today. And there was a vigil. They say there are people who are going to the court to pray for him. They are bishops and pastors. So that's also ongoing in South Africa. And in South Korea, remember the ex-leader. Okay, so this is a video of supporters of former President Jacob Zuma who held a night vigil at Albert Park in Durban. Zuma supporters say they're expressing their solidarity ahead of Zuma's court appearance Friday. You know, they're 2 hours ahead of us, so there's a lot of action this morning already in Durban with this issue. I think the last one is South Africa's, no, not South Africa, South Korea's ex-leader who's also been found guilty of abusing power. I think she's been handed. She faces 18 corruption-related charges. The verdict is still being read out, and the final sentence is expected to be delivered within hours. I'm picking this from the BBC. South Korea's former president has been found guilty of abuse of power and coercion in a court verdict being broadcast live. So there are quite a number of world leaders. Yesterday we told you about Brazil's former leader, and then now it's South Korea's former leader as well, the only female president, and then there's the South Africa's former leader, Jacob Zuma. So, you know, all happening along the line. We'll bring you more, but right now we've got to run, Roland.
Yeah, and this guy, he's not former, it's current. That's Benedict also with the latest sports.
Yeah, or say us now.